Eastbourne Arndale Centre is now autism friendly. The Mayor, Councillor Pat Hearn, has launched the Stress Alert card scheme and placed the first sticker in the shopping centre's window to promote it to shoppers.
Absolutely fantastic. A really, really good idea for everybody, for the parents and for general public, because it brings it to people's attention and people aren't embarrassed by it. They can treat it as being part of normal life and know that somebody's able to cope with it, to help with it. So, very good idea indeed.
The idea was thought up by Alice Parker, who's a mum herself.
Wow. My son has got autism. He's 10 years old. And I was having a lot of problems taking him around the shops and I'm a single parent. So most of the time I had to take him with me. So the fact that I was having a lot of difficulties, people not understanding, staff not helping, I decided to go around the local special schools in Eastbourne, just talking to other parents to see how they were finding the experience of taking their children out, and also to find out if I could learn something from them, if they were doing something better that I could sort of, do with my son. And what I found out from that was that 97% of parents had completely stopped taking their children out because of this hassle they were finding taking the children out, and it was very stressful for everyone. So they just decided to cut that out. And that doesn't help because studies show that children who are taken out and sort of interact within their communities, they learn better and then they also get better even with self-help, self-care, and in school as well. So I think it clicks something within something somewhere to get them, cope a little better with the autism.
Staff at the Arndale have been trained in how to help those with autism, and those with the condition can carry a card showing either the red side to say they need help or amber to show they're trying to cope.
Well, literally learning everything from all about autism and how to look out for them, but just generally everything that you think is simplistic things, but it's so much more detailed and it's a real eye-opener.
More of an understanding. Not necessarily every child that's crying on the mail is having a tantrum or something like that, and we're more approachable and we can understand more of the situation surrounding everything that's going on.
More aware to tell the customers what it's all about, because a lot of the customers don't understand. Like, for instance, when they come into a centre, they say that we are being a bit abrupt with the customers. Being aware is the main thing. We try to explain to customers what the problem is, and we try to calm the situation down. Being a security officer is very difficult in those sort of cases, and they don't know. We're trying to make them aware of what's going on, because they don't know. And a scheme like this is ideal for a place like this. We get through about sort of 60 or 70,000. Like, for instance, the airborne, they come through here, they've got no idea at all what's going on. If we can just spend 5 minutes talking to them, it's half the battle.
It's been a welcome addition to the Arndale.
We thought, well, that's well worth supporting, so we, through Alice Parker, organised training sessions for our security staff, cleaning staff and a lot of the retailers in the centre, so that they can be aware of this condition and actually treat customers and if it's children, sympathetically. So that was the idea behind it.
Alice can't quite believe her idea has grown so fast.
I can't tell you. I am delighted, I am overwhelmed, and I am very pleased that Eastbourne has decided to do this on behalf of their customers. And on a personal level, I always relate to this, on a personal level, because now I feel rare. The world is open for me and my son. We can come and interact and, have the support that we need from people who understand what we're going through.
It's now hoped the scheme will spread across the town.
I really think it's an amazing scheme. I think it's one of those little things that could make a huge difference. Families that we work with as a service, that we support, regularly tell us how difficult it is just to do very routine, ordinary, everyday things like going out to the shops with their child with autism or with the whole family, because their child may get into the car, may go along with the car journey. As soon as they get somewhere like this, you get them through the door. It's overwhelming. There's too much going on. It's too noisy. There's escape routes everywhere, and quite often things break down, and then they're left with people standing around them, judging them as bad parents and not being very helpful. And so eventually they end up deciding they're not going to go out and do those kind of normal everyday things, eating out in a restaurant, going shopping, going to the cinema. And families tend to split up and divide and conquer. So one parent will stay with the autistic child and one parent will be with the other children. And so I think for a lot of parents, knowing this card is here, knowing that they can come to the Arndale Centre and basically somebody will have a little bit more understanding than most of the rest of the public around them, and will be able to come and ask them what it is they need help with. Because I think generally that's what parents need, is just somebody to say, tell me what to do, tell me how I can help. And I think this scheme will really enable parents to feel a bit more confident about coming somewhere like this, and hopefully it will spread beyond the Arndale Centre. Hopefully other places will take it up and use it.
The goal is actually to get the whole of Eastbourne autism friendly, and the job is going on really, really well, and the scheme is being very well received. We've also done some work with the local council, the Eastbourne Borough Council. We've given their, what do they call them, the frontline officers. They've been trained in autism, so now they can help their customers accordingly. And we've also given training to the local councillors, some of the local councillors in Eastbourne, so that they will bear in mind what difficulties autistic people face when they do their job of making policies and providing services and, working with their communities.
I'd like to see it rolled out across the country. I think it's something which should already have been done. It's not something people have thought about, I don't think. We've always looked at whether people can get their wheelchairs into places, or whether they've got, they've got a dog if they're blind. We look at all that kind of disability, but autism has been sort of pushed to one side, and it needs to be in the open. It needs to realise that just how many people have varying stages of it too, and it must be dreadful for a mother. And she can't go shopping, or she's embarrassed to go shopping because she's worried her child might play up in the store, or the child does play up and people are, moaning about her. And what can I say? It should be, every shop should have somebody. In the same way as we worked for the hearing loop, the same should be worked for the autism, I think.
Anyone interested in finding out more about the idea, or who wants to get hold of a Stress Alert card, can visit www.autismstressalert.org.